Jesus said in Matthew 5:19, do and teach God's law. That's what Jesus said. So here's God's law number 36, building construction. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim McCotter. Welcome. Here's God's law number 36 from God's law book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 8. When you build a new house, you must build a railing around the edge of its flat roof. That way you will not be considered guilty of murder if someone falls from the roof. End quote. Safeguarding life and cultivating responsibility. The civil law of God recorded in Deuteronomy 22:8 is a remarkable practical piece of legislation. In historical and cultural context, homes in the ancient Near East often featured flat roofs used for social gatherings, storage, even sleeping during warm nights. This commandment, though brief, offers a wealth of benefits, both practical and spiritual, for individuals and society at large. Protection of human life. First and foremost, the law prioritizes the preservation of life by requiring a parapet or a railing. The risk of accidental falls during festivals or work or rest is significantly reduced. In essence, it transforms every home into a safe haven, fostering an environment where human life is considered valuable and protected. Promotion of personal responsibility. This law instills a profound sense of responsibility in the homeowner. Building a railing is a tangible expression of care for others. It compels individuals not to be negligent with regard to the safety of those who enter their homes, encouraging an attitude of stewardship and accountability. The commandment makes it clear that our actions or inactions have consequences, and that we are morally bound to protect those within our sphere of influence. This is the essence of what Jesus said in Matthew 22:39 when he quoted Leviticus 19:18 to obey the law, which says, quote, you should love your neighbor as yourself, end quote. The same principle law applies to the biblical law for everyone's right to own a gun and use it for self-defense, to save your life, the life of your family or guest, or in loving any neighbor that may be in need. Prevention of legal and moral liability. By following this directive, a homeowner avoids the shadow of legal and moral culpability. The law thereby clarifies lines of responsibility and justice. If someone falls because the railing was absent, the owner bears the blame. If precautions were taken, the owner is innocent. This framework encourages proactive risk management and fair adjudication. Encouragement of community's well-being. When such laws are heeded by all, the effect of safety ripples through the community. When everyone values the welfare of others, mutual respect is woven into the fabric of society. In this way, the law fosters solidarity, discourages indifference, and promotes the common good. Integration of faith and daily life. This commandment exemplifies how divine instruction interacts with the mundane aspects of existence. It underscores that faith is not confined to ritual or belief or just inside a church, but is lived out and intended in all of life in everyday decisions, even as how one builds a house. God's law promotes godly living and having love, care, diligence, and wisdom in all areas of life and society, making holiness a practical reality of life. Educational value. Finally, this law serves as a living lesson for future generations. Children who grow up in homes where safety measures are thoughtfully implemented learn by example the importance of considering others and the value of foresight. Thus, God's law perpetuates a culture of compassion and prudence. It protects life and reduces accidents, instills responsibility and compassion in homeowners, prevents legal and moral liability for accidental harm, promotes a safer, more trusting community, integrates faith into daily actions and decisions, educates the next generation about caring for others. In sum, God's civil law in Deuteronomy 22:8 radiates benefits far beyond its immediate context. It is a testament to the wisdom of laws that are both practical and profound, designed to nurture safety, justice, and compassion in the heart of every home and community. In other words, to love your neighbor as yourself.